Hey everyone, it's Mr. Hollywood, and today I'm joined by a special guest.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Hollywood, for having me on your channel.
Of course. And today we are doing an insanely epic ranking. We are ranking the Star Wars, DCEU, MCU, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, and X-Men movies, and it actually added up to 100. Now, originally it would have added up to 98, but then we added the Clone Wars movies, the Clone Wars movie, and we added both cuts of BVS, where I usually only talk about the Ultimate Edition. So that added up to 100. And we're not actually just going to give our personal rankings, we're actually going to give the average ranking, but we could obviously discuss why
Yep.
we differed a lot. So I think let's begin. Starting off with number 100. I was a little shocked it was number 100, though I predicted it to be towards the bottom. Batman Robin on average.
Yeah, that makes sense. That
I
makes
mean,
sense.
I put it towards the bottom. I believe, didn't you have it at the bottom?
I, I think so. I mean, I think like objectively, it had to be at the bottom. Um, I'm honestly not surprised to hear that.
I mean, there was a few movies I mean were pretty close, but I mean yeah, objectively it is one of the worst. There are a few though that I personally don't dislike more, but I mean I'm not gonna argue that Batman Robin would be the worst on the list.
Yeah,
Number
I
nine,
don't think we really have to go over it much.
yeah, number
Yeah,
99, Suicide Squad. Same thing.
Suicide Squad.
Not surprised it's this low. I thought it would be maybe a little higher, but I mean,
Yeah, no, I
still
mean,
not a good movie.
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Number 98, Batman vs. Superman, the theatrical cut. The Ultimate Edition, obviously way higher on the list,
Yeah.
but
Well, I think I have only seen the original cut, and just based off of that, I don't like the movie. So I can see why, it would be ranked that low, all DC so far.
all DC so far.
Mm.
Number 97, and staying in the topic of DC for the last one before we get to our first non DC on the list, Justice League 2017.
Oh yeah, you hate that one.
I hate that one. I would put it at the bottom, but I could
Yeah,
actually probably understand that maybe on an objective level better than the
yeah.
previous, though I just dislike it
I,
more.
I think a lot of people could agree with you that it is the worst. It's not well made. It's not a good movie, and I think
And
its
once you see
placement
all the
here
missed potential,
is reasonable. Yeah.
I mean, once you see all the missed potential with the Snyder Cut, it just becomes more ugly.
Hopefully, Snyder Cut is much higher.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious when we average it out, it is way higher. Number
Yeah.
96, The Eternals, the lowest rated Marvel movie.
Eternals.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I
it
don't
is my least
remember.
favorite MCU movie, but there
Yeah.
are a few Marvel movies I hate more. But I mean, The Eternals. I mean, I respect that they went for it, but for me, it just didn't stick the landing.
Yeah. I don't remember Eternals that well. That's probably not a good sign. I just remember it like being boring and just confusing, like poorly written, and it had characters that like I didn't really care for.
So yeah, number 95 on the list when we average. Number 95, Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix, yeah. Same. Like these are all bad movies, the they're at the bottom, I mean, Dark Phoenix. I mean, well, what can I say about it? It's Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, it's Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
Number 94, Superman 3. I actually was surprised that on average it was rated lower than Superman 4 because I'll admit, I'll kind of take the blame. I do like Superman 4 more than this movie. Because
I
yeah.
Oh, I'm actually surprised. I was expecting Superman 4 to be lower.
Superman 4, you'll be surprised. It's still
Wow.
not in the top half, but
Yeah. I
we'll.
mean, Superman 3, I mean, it's still not a good movie, but
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
not good. I mean, the reason I like Superman 4 more than this is because I at least felt like it was at least it kind of felt like a Superman movie. This movie did
Yeah.
not feel like a Superman movie at all.
I
Um,
have zero intentions to rewatch
yeah.
Superman 3.
Also, Superman 4, I feel like is at least fun. I don't think Superman 3 is fun. I think Superman 3 is just boring. So, yeah. Number 93, the first one where I actually don't think is bad, but I'm still not surprised it was ranked this low. Thor: The Dark World. I'll admit, I enjoy this movie a little more than most. But it's still
Yeah,
not. Yeah.
a while back, I think I rewatched Thor: The Dark World. Not as bad as I remember. It's just so painful to watch. It's just so painfully nothing. You know. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like one of the worst superhero movies, but it definitely it's definitely not the best. You know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there are quite a few though that I thought were worse than Thor: The Dark World, but I mean, there was like a lot. Like at this point, a lot of us are like completely like at this point, a lot of our rankings are kind of completely different. The bottom few, both of us had towards the bottom. The next few, some of us put one of us put it a little higher than the other. So that
Really?
makes it interesting at
Hmm.
when we start getting into it now. Number 92, it's actually a three-way tie between X-Men Origins of Wolverine, X-Men Apocalypse, and Wonder Woman 84.
Wow. Our first tie.
Yep, not our last tie, but
Yeah.
I
I'll
mean,
say one thing about X-Men Origins. It's a bad movie, but I could like enjoy it for what it is. You know, it's almost so bad it's good. You know,
yeah,
it's so insanely goofy. Like you know what I'm saying? It's
yeah, yeah.
by no means a good movie, but
No,
I could laugh. You know, I could laugh at it. You know,
yeah,
um, Wonder Woman 84. Yeah, I don't remember that one being so good. And Apocalypse was the other one.
yeah, yeah. Apocalypse.
Apocalypse was yeah. I don't I don't remember liking Apocalypse that much.
I'll admit, X-Men Origins of Wolverine was by far the lowest of these three. I think it's more enjoyable than Apocalypse, but I
Yeah,
can at least acknowledge Apocalypse is at least I
agreed.
think better made. Apocalypse I feel like is just boring.
It is.
I mean, the first third though, I'll give Apocalypse credit where it's due. The first third with Magneto and his family I thought was great,
Hmm.
but then it fell
Yeah,
off after that. And Wonder Woman 84, I'll admit, the first two thirds I thought it was a really good movie. If we're just going by first two thirds, but just like a few other movies, I think it completely dropped the ball in the final battle.
it fell off. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean yeah, like Wonder Woman 84, I like a little more than most, but it's not a movie that like I'm so desperately gonna say, oh, it should be way
Yeah.
higher. I
I,
only
I,
have it a little higher than this.
I think Wonder Woman 84 kind of, you know, it was unfortunate because it kind of came out in that post pandemic era, you know?
Yeah,
So it, you know,
I mean, yeah, it's a frustrating watch, but I could have a little more fun than with the other two.
hmm.
89, The Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk. Wow. You know, I think I used to be a bit more harsh towards Incredible Hulk. I
Yeah,
still don't think it's
same.
great, but I think I like it more than like I used to, you know?
I mean, yeah, I'll admit, I'm not gonna say that with some recent MCU movies, Incredible Hulk is like amazing now. I will admit, I think at first I was a little bit more blind to some of the newer MCU movies where I just felt like I had to. Like, I used
Mhm.
to like Eternals, but over time I can acknowledge Eternals is not good. I think I just kind of forced myself to like it. I
Yeah.
mean, Incredible Hulk, I could have a little bit more fun than something like Eternals. Still
Yeah.
not a great movie, but
If I were to ever like rewatch Incredible Hulk, it would probably just be for like the final battle, you know?
Yeah, the final battle I thought was actually pretty good. So yeah, 89 was Incredible Hulk. 88 is actually a two-way tie this time, so not a three-way, but a two-way between the New Mutants and Superman 4.
I can see that, you know? Although I don't think I would ever have Superman 4 like above Incredible Hulk, but um, New Mutants was just blah, you know. Like, I like same with a lot of other movies on this list. I just remember not liking it, you know. Um, Superman 4, like as you said, it is kind of like so bad it's good, but yeah. I mean, I don't really have much to say about it. Do you have any thoughts?
I mean, like, I'll admit, the reason they actually are tied is I actually put Superman 4 a little bit above New Mutants. It's mainly because I feel like Superman 4 is actually more entertaining than a lot of movies in, like, my bottom 30. And look, I don't actually think Superman 4 is as terrible as some people will say. Now, I used to adore this movie, but obviously, as I've gotten older, I can
Yeah.
notice a lot of the flaws. New Mutants, I don't hate. I actually enjoyed New Mutants, but I just never go back and rewatch it.
Yeah.
86, Ant-Man and the Wasp. And yes, Ant-Man and the Wasp, not Quantumania. Quantumania actually was average a little bit higher. I'll admit this was my least favorite of the Ant-Man movies, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man. Yeah, first Ant-Man is okay. Ant-Man and the Wasp is, yeah. I don't think I ever liked Ant-Man and the Wasp. And Quantumania is, I mean, I don't really like Quantumania either. But Ant-Man and the Wasp is just so painfully nothing, you know. The villain is just kind of all right. I mean, it's got some funny moments, but it's just got nothing to it. It's boring. It's not really fun to watch, you know.
85 was Batman Forever.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'll admit, Batman Forever, I don't hate this movie, but I don't love it either. I actually do think there are a lot of good things in Batman Forever.
Yeah.
I think obviously it gets overshadowed by how bad Batman and Robin is.
Yeah. Yeah, and now I've got Val Kilmer on my mind, you know, who of course recently passed away.
Yeah. And like I'll admit, he was honestly a very good Bruce
He
Wayne.
He was, yeah.
Obviously Jim Carrey. I'll admit I had a lot of fun with Jim Carrey in this.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. He doesn't really give a good performance, but like in terms of like entertainment level,
Very
like
much
he's
so
extremely entertaining. Same with Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicole Kidman's all right. Yeah,
I mean,
it's silly. It's definitely not as silly as Batman and Robin.
And it's obviously a little bit better made than Batman and Robin.
It's got problems, but like I think it's rewatchable. You know,
yeah.
I don't think it's got like, flaws, but there's some elements in there that you can enjoy.
Yeah, like I'll admit, I don't think this is a bad movie. I think it's maybe like mediocre, but I don't think it's bad. And I will actually have to admit, I do really hope that we one day see the Joel Schumacher cut of the film.
Yeah.
But anyways, 84, X-Men: The Last Stand.
Ooh, it's just bad movie after bad movie. Yeah, Last Stand. I will admit, there are some parts I do like, but there's just way too many subplots. It's not well written, bad dialogue. It's just got all those bad elements, you know?
I mean, like the Dark Phoenix storylines, I mean, in both films, I mean, like I actually think maybe Dark Phoenix actually did the Dark Phoenix storyline better, but I actually at least feel like this movie was better made overall. Like, I don't think it's as bad as Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix, and Origins. I think it's like probably the least bad of them. Still not a movie I think is great. And I mean, yeah, this is kind of probably about where I expected it to be on the list. 83, a movie that has fallen from grace, The Marvels.
The Marvels, yeah. It's weird. The Marvels is like one of the more recent ones on the list, but I don't remember much from it. Like, I just remember being like painfully average, you know? I mean, I wouldn't really be able to say like whether I liked it more than the first Captain Marvel. Like, even the first Captain Marvel is still kind of blah. But yeah,
Um,
the Marvels, I don't really, I don't think I really have much of an opinion on the Marvels. It happened. I watched it, and like the next day, I like forgot about it. What
yeah.
about you?
I mean, the Marvels, I think I gave like a B minus when I first saw
Mhm.
it. That was probably because of the post credit scene. So I was just like walking out of the theater on the
Yeah,
high of the post credit scene, and probably because it was just a new Marvel movie. Over time, I don't think it's that great of a movie.
yeah.
Now, 82, a movie that you had towards the bottom of your entire list, lower than a lot of these others, but I actually had it quite a bit higher, so it averaged out here. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yeah. Quantumania, I mean, I don't, I wouldn't call it like my least favorite MCU movie. It's definitely like at the bottom of the barrel. I just like remember watching it in the theater, and it was just so bad, you know, like the visual effects were just like crazy. Like there was like too many of them, and it and like especially like for Modoc, like that was some of the worst CGI like I've ever seen in
Mm-hmm.
a superhero movie, and it was just silly. I didn't really find it that funny. It was just a mess, you know, a mess of characters, weird storylines. The story made no sense. It was just, I remember, I like literally fell asleep in the theater, you
Dang.
know. I don't think that's a good sign, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I actually had it the highest of the Ant-Man movies.
really.
So that's kind of how it was averaged out 82. Because you had this in your bottom five in this entire list when you sent me your list.
Yeah.
So I mean, this was like probably the first one where this is probably our largest gap in terms of our agreement on the movie so far. I still don't think this is a great movie, but I think it's my favorite on the list so far. Which, I mean, obviously that's not exactly the highest bar, but it is what it
Hmm.
is. 81, Black Widow.
Wow, that I was expecting it to be a bit higher. I mean, it was kind of low. I mean,
It's because
I enjoyed Black Widow, but
mhm,
like it suffers from like a lot of other problems that like other Marvel movies face. So
mhm.
I can't really like put it like much higher than it like already was, you know. You know, Scarlett Johansson is great, of course.
For me, the, the final battle completely killed this. So this is actually in my bottom five of the MCU, and
Really?
this was bottom 15 for me on the entire list. So that's
Hmm.
how it averaged out to be 81. So yeah, number 80. I think probably a little bit higher than I expected, but because I put it a little bit higher than a lot of people would expect, like I think I put it, I'll have to just tell you right now, I put it at number 69. So, but you put it very low, so that's how it averaged out to be 80. Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Um, I have my fair share of problems with Captain Marvel. First of all, it's just it's boring. You know, it's painful to watch. I think I've only seen it once. I don't really have any plans of seeing it again. Um,
I mean,
I
I'll
just
admit, I used to love this movie,
really,
mainly probably because it was like on the back end of Endgame, so it just got me hyped.
yeah.
Overall, I mean, as time went on, I will admit I actually liked this movie,
Uh
but I
huh.
will admit I didn't love this movie. Though
Yeah.
I will always say that I at least felt like Captain Marvel was way better in this movie than in the Marvels, because I felt like Captain Marvel at least had things to do in this. In the Marvels, they completely just sidelined Captain Marvel.
I agree. And like two other things. I was never a huge fan of like introducing Captain Marvel, like right before Endgame, which was supposed to
Yeah.
be like the climax, and they introduced this like a brand new character who's supposed to be like really important, uh, like right before they release Endgame, and I just
Yeah,
never
that was
liked
probably not. Yeah, that
it. And
probably wasn't a great idea.
I don't really like how they retconned Nick Fury losing his eye. I thought that was silly.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it was like exactly a retcon, but it's like
Well, yeah,
it's one thing that was like it was a mystery,
it
but then they made it the explanation, and that's
it
kind of
kind of takes away
the
like
mystery.
the meaning, the original meaning in like Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
And it's revealed that like a cat scratches it out.
yeah. I'm like, I'll admit that's kind of like the a bit of the kiss of death with prequels just in general, and this kind of falls victim to that, where it's like if you know
Yeah,
like, where their character ends up, you at least want a good explanation of how they ended up. Otherwise, you kind of just wish you never knew how they ended up in this place. Where it's like, I mean, obviously we know Nick Fury's gonna lose his eye, but obviously I don't think anyone wanted to see it because of a cat. I think it's
yeah.
probably left better as a mystery. But yeah, 79. It was it was actually very low on my list, but you had it a little bit higher. Superman Returns.
Superman Returns. I should probably rewatch Superman Returns because maybe it's not as good as I thought. I don't remember being bad, but like I don't remember it like being good by any means. Directed by Bryan Singer, of course. Um, I actually kind of like Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. I think he does a pretty good job with the character. Brendan Routh, I don't think he's terrible. He's definitely no Christopher Reeve by any means, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember like hating the movie.
I'll admit, I look, Superman Returns is a film I've had an interesting relationship. I don't hate this film,
Hmm.
but there were a lot of things that just annoyed me. I will admit, I did not really like Lois Lane that much in this film. I will also admit, I actually did not like Kevin Spacey that much in this. And I liked Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor more, which is saying a lot because I wasn't a big fan of Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor either, but I at least thought he was better than Kevin Spacey. Now, I think
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey is a great actor. Obviously, he was in movies like Seven and The Usual Suspects. Just in this, not so much. Also, I didn't. I mean, I just didn't think the acting in this film was that good, and it definitely very much so retconned Superman 3 and 4, which I don't hate that it did, but given that how this movie turned out, I just kind of wish this movie was like probably just set after Superman 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't think Superman 4 was very good. So I mean, yeah, 79 on the list. Like I can understand why it averages out to be a little higher than maybe I would have put it. But yeah, 79 I feel like is fair. 78 on our list for average. Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah. I think we can agree. So out of the 4 Avengers movies,
Easily the worst.
yeah, it's like first Avengers. It's amazing. Then got Infinity War, Endgame. They're all like staples in the world of superhero cinema. Then there's just Age of Ultron. It just kind of exists.
I mean, it obviously set up a lot.
Yeah, it's important in the MCU.
But just because it's important, that doesn't mean it's an amazing movie.
That's the problem with it. It just doesn't hold up as much as like the others. It's not on the same level of like impact or like suspense. And I think
it's just boring at times.
Yeah, I think it's a very good example of why more isn't always better. It's all right. Like James Spader as Ultron is good. Definitely
cool.
Not a bad movie. It's just not as good as the other Avengers movies.
I mean, like the action is still almost as good as the others.
Yeah.
And I will admit, seeing Hawkeye's family for the first time was cool. However, there was just a lot of things that, I mean, like first off, like obviously it sets up a lot. It had a bit of the Iron Man 2 problem.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually think Iron Man 2 was a lot more entertaining than this. even though that might be a little controversial. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Age of Ultron, I liked it, but I didn't love it. So 78, which I think that's actually, oh, yeah, I put it at 76 on the list. So actually, it's almost exactly where I put it.
Mm.
77 on the list. I actually had it quite a bit higher, but you did not like as much. Birds of Prey.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I hate Birds of Prey. Um, it was just kind of. I think the standout is Ewan McGregor as Black Mask.
Of
Um,
course.
but like other than that, I just didn't really find the movie to be that entertaining. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not the worst DCU movie.
Well, yeah,
It's
obviously.
it's just kind of there. You know, it came out during an interesting time. You know,
Right
uh,
before the world shut down.
yeah, when not many movies were coming out. Uh, it may have done better if it like maybe was released before or after that time, but
Yeah.
it's just kind of, I mean, Margot Robbie is of course
Oh yeah,
great.
like yeah, Margot Robbie was great. So yeah, it's like no hate towards Margot Robbie. Like I think the acting in this is very good. I think the
Hmm.
action is very good, but this movie, fun enough, not amazing. I think that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
76, The Amazing Spider-Man.
One.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, and you'll
Shock.
see why Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a little higher because I am a bit more of a defender of Amazing Spider-Man 2.
That is, I mean, crazy to see Amazing Spider-Man below Amazing Spider-Man 2. I was not expecting that.
I'm also surprised that on average it was actually below Spider-Man 3.
Hmm.
It is
Yeah.
actually because this is my least favorite of the live action Spider-Man movies. But I still expected, like, I thought you liked this a lot more than Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3, but you only liked it a little more, so that's why it
Yeah.
averaged out to be the lowest. But, I mean, Amazing Spider-Man has a lot of things that I thought were very good. I
Hmm.
thought it was a good origin for Spider-Man, not an amazing origin, but a good origin nonetheless. I thought
Hmm.
Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone were great. I also thought James Horner's score was amazing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I thought the Lizard was kind of bland in this. I'll admit.
Yeah. I mean, I still like Tobey Maguire more. He is my Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield, like especially in this movie, he just comes off as like too cool. I mean,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be playing like a wimp, you know. He's supposed to be playing a loser, you know,
Mm,
and like he like rides a skateboard, you know. Just doesn't
um,
fit. Um, I do agree with you though. The chemistry between
Emma
Emma
Stone
Stone
and
and Andrew Garfield is it's good for a superhero movie, you know.
yeah.
It's definitely not bad, but I wouldn't like call it great, you know.
I mean, I'll admit the romance got, I think, a lot better in the next film.
Mm-hmm.
75, Spider-Man 3.
Mm. Yeah. What could be said about Spider-Man 3?
Emo Peter Parker.
Yeah. Um.
I'll admit, there were a lot of things I really liked about this film. I thought there was a lot of good elements that did wrap up the trilogy nicely for the most part. I thought Harry had a great redemption. I still really like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man in this film, even though I think it got a little too goofy at times.
Mhm.
And I will admit, Uncle Beth, Uncle Ben's death retconned with Sandman being the killer. I didn't hate. Like I'm okay with either whether they retconned it or not. And I will admit, I thought Sandman was great in this. But obviously, the main thing, Topher Grace's Venom.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell that Sam Raimi just did not want to have Topher Grace as Venom in this.
Yeah. I think Sony forced him to.
Yeah, they
I
did.
think it's a very unfortunate case of studio interference.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Topher Grace really killed the movie. Well, it didn't kill the movie. Like I still enjoyed it, but it killed it. It killed
Yeah.
what could have been a great movie. Instead, I think it's only a good movie. But I mean, I'll admit it's a little bit better over time than like I remember.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, still not a great movie by any means. 74, the original Thor.
Yeah, I mean, this is similar to Incredible Hulk. I think I used to be a bit more harsh on the original Thor. I've come to like it a bit more. Like it's got some funny moments, like especially when Thor goes another. You know, he drops the mug. Like that's pretty funny, and I like it. You know, um,
This is
Natalie
one of the
Portman's
few.
alright, but
Yeah.
I do think it spends a bit too much time in like New Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Um,
That stuff just got boring. I
yeah,
will admit, the last two thirds I don't think were that great. This is one of the few superhero movies where I thought the first third was the best.
really.
The first 30 minutes when they were on Asgard with Thor fighting the Frost Giants felt epic.
Hmm.
But then
I
after
mean,
that, it just
it's.
got dull.
I think it's the better than like the sequel. I think it's much better than Thor: The Dark World. It's got flaws, but you know, it it's I could rewatch it. Like you know, it's not all that bad. You know.
Yeah. So okay, 73 is actually a tie between Captain America: Brave New World and The Phantom Menace. This is
Wow.
very interesting. So uh I believe you haven't seen Captain America: Brave
Yeah,
New World
I'm a
yet.
bit behind. I actually have not seen Brave New World yet.
So I'm not gonna spoil, but it's just I'll just say up front, I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. Phantom Menace, I think obviously it's become kind of a cult classic in some way. 25
Yeah,
years later, I mean,
yeah,
I'll admit I like this more than Attack of the Clones and Solo, and obviously the Clone Wars movie
yeah.
that we haven't talked about. But
I
Ewan has,
actually
yeah.
I don't think Phantom Menace is the worst Star Wars movie. It is like there's way too much political talk in it. Like characters talking about like trade federations and Senate delegations. Uh, 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 like people don't watch Star Wars for that stuff, you know. And let's not forget Jar Jar Binks, who is just Jar Jar Binks. You know, uh, I mean it's just you know, it's got bad child acting. You know, I
Or
mean,
just bad acting in general. I
yeah,
don't think it was just Jake Lloyd.
I do feel bad for Jake Lloyd. You
Oh
know,
yeah, like
what happened to him?
yeah, like I do feel bad for Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Best, and like I think that it's a movie that I feel like everyone is kind of a little bit more of an apologist to
Yeah,
over time, which I know some people don't want to hear that, but I unfortunately kind of do feel that way, in that
yeah.
they're just too focused on just the last 30 minutes. Because obviously, this does have a top three duel in
The
the.
Duel of the Fates, though. I mean, the theme, obviously, and the final lightsaber duel. That's the highlight of the movie. Darth Maul. That's a cool scene, but I don't think it like saves the movie. You know?
I mean, so yeah, like, I mean, like I was actually surprised this was the lowest rated, but I mean, like, I mean, you just didn't like this movie that much, and I just thought it was good but not great. So,
Yeah.
and
I
because
mean,
of yeah,
I think I could rewatch Phantom Menace. To be honest, I could rewatch any Star Wars movie. Um, like there are entertaining aspects, you know, that like do like can attract someone, but like most of it is just boring. It's like uh, uh, politicians on Naboo just talking about stuff that like no one like the first like the opening title scroll is just about like politics and the Senate. Like it's as if George Lucas thought like people wanted to see Star Wars for like politics and like trade negotiations. It just it doesn't make sense, you know.
so, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, this is a movie that it's like it feels a little harder to criticize in 2025 because it feels like people are
Yeah,
a little bit kind of ignore to talk about the flaws, but unfortunately,
I will admit though, I mean, it does, you know, it is nostalgic, but
well,
like
yeah,
you
obviously.
know, I like it was a part of our childhoods.
Of course, because we're not
Yeah,
70s kids, so we didn't see this in the theaters in 99. Otherwise, it would have been a lot different
yeah,
like if we were in our 20s in 99. But I mean, yeah, like it's nostalgic, but I mean, I just didn't love this movie, and I think we can both agree it just wasn't that great of a movie.
Yeah.
71 on this list. The Clone Wars movie. Very shocked it actually
Yeah.
was one spot above the Phantom Menace.
I,
You
I don't
really enjoy, yeah.
I don't hate the Clone Wars movie. I mean, I know some people dislike it. I just think it's like a it adds some good lore, to an already amazing TV show, and that's what I like about it. It's cool to see the Hutts, and like I think it's just a really solid film. You get to see more of Anakin and Ahsoka. It's what I guess what I'm trying to say. It's a good expansion, to a show that's already like really good.
Uh-huh. So I mean, yeah, like I think a lot of people are shocked that this is probably above Phantom Menace because I had this towards my bottom of the list. I'll admit, I did see this once, like about a year and a half ago, the
Hmm.
movie. I'll admit, I didn't think the movie was very good. I thought it was like maybe a bit of a so bad it's good. But you liked it a lot more than Phantom Menace, so that's
Yeah,
kind of how this was able to
uh,
be one spot
yeah.
above.
I'm not saying it's like great or amazing. Um, I mean, I can like enjoy it for what it is. I mean, I could definitely rewatch it. Like I said, I could rewatch any Star Wars movie. Um, I don't think it deserved all the hate.
I mean, like, I feel like, yeah, like I don't think it's the worst movie on the list. I think there's movies, obviously, some of the ones that we
Yeah.
just talked about were worse. And I will admit, this is at least entertaining, but unfortunately, I just, like, yeah, I did put it below all the other live action Star Wars movies. I'll admit that. But, I mean, maybe I'll rewatch it eventually, but I don't see myself rewatching it anytime soon. But, anyways, number 70 on this list, The Amazing Spider Man 2.
Yeah. What could be said about Amazing Spider-Man 2? I mean, I don't think I've seen it in a while. Like it's been a while since I've last seen it. Um, there's just like way too many things going on in that movie. There's like so many subplots that like it just becomes a mess. I'll go back to what you said. Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield uh, have great chemistry, and I do agree that it is better in this one than it was in TASM 1. But it's just so convoluted. There's like too many subplots. Like they introduce Harry Osborn out of nowhere, and like he was nowhere to be seen in the first film, and they act like they've been friends all along. And Electro, Jamie Foxx. I like Jamie Foxx as an actor, but like I just wasn't crazy about him as Electro, and it's just it's got good moments. It's just a mess. It's got too much stuff going on. It's got it's got like pretty much the same problems that Spider-Man 3 has, in my opinion.
Mhm. I mean, I'll admit, obviously, because so like, wasn't this your least favorite of the Spider-Man movies?
If you're not counting,
Well, yeah, like not including
yeah,
not include
it is.
not yeah,
It
not
is
including
my least favorite. Yeah.
yeah. Um, for me, like I liked it more than TASM 1 and Spider-Man 3, mainly
Hmm.
because of the final battle. I will have to admit, the final battle was amazing with Gwen Stacy's death. I
Yeah.
thought that stuff was honestly kind of peak Spider-Man. Like this movie is like a bit of a tale of two halves. The half of it that's good is like some of the best Spider-Man. The half of it that isn't good, some of the worst. Like yes,
Yeah.
Harry in this was terrible. And
And
Rhino, don't even get me
and
started on Rhino.
the 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 ending tells you that the film was rushed, that the director and the producers like had no direction. Like it ends right when a battle is about to begin. It's just
Yeah, the
it just
Rhino, yeah,
you know
Rhino in this was terrible.
yeah.
But I will admit I liked a lot more than I had problems. So yeah,
Mhm.
69 when we average. Black Adam.
Black Adam. Black Adam is one of those where I don't think I really have much of an opinion on. Like I don't think I have really much to say about Black Adam. I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
At first, I adored it. I think I put it in my top 3 DCEU movies when it came out.
Hmm.
Obviously, I was kind of probably just overhyping it all because of the post-credit scene. But obviously, now that that best stuff isn't even going to continue, I'm not going to. It's harder to call it top 3 for one, for like a 3 minute for like a 30-second sequence.
Yeah.
I will admit, I enjoyed this movie. Did this feel like an early Zeros movie? Absolutely. But I very much so thought this was a refresher for superheroes. And I will admit, I thought Dwayne Johnson did a great job as Black Adam. But the
Yeah.
villain, I thought, sucked. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. But I'll admit, like, it's probably like it's like a B minus for me. So I'll admit, I very much so enjoyed Black Adam. But anyways, 68 on this list. Star Wars Episode 2: Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. So like, you like Phantom Menace more than Attack of the Clones. I like Attack of the Clones more than Phantom Menace. It's it's got less like political Senate talk. You know, it's got less of that stuff, which is good. There's still a little bit of it there, but it's
Yeah, no,
definitely less than Phantom Menace. You know, and I would call that an improvement. A less Jar Jar, obviously. I mean, that's a huge improvement. Um, it's definitely got problems. Some of the
I
worst
don't like I don't
dialogue,
like sand.
some of the worst dialogue, romantic dialogue in film history.
I mean,
Um,
I will admit this does have the worst dialogue in Star Wars without question.
yeah. Um,
I mean, the Anakin Padme romance is something I thought was obviously a
yeah.
way weaker. And look,
What's
Hayden Christensen in this I did not think was good.
Yeah. What saves the movie for me is the final act on Geonosis. That's really that's really what saves the movie for me. Um, it's a long scene, Geonosis and like the battle with Dooku. It's great to let like Mace Windu fighting Jango Fett. It's short, but like it's iconic, and I
Yeah,
love it. You know, um, the, you know, the visuals obviously don't hold up. I will
but
admit that
yeah,
it's by no means like a well-made movie, but like I could definitely rewatch it. It's got fun elements to it.
I mean, the final battle, like, it's actually pretty comparable. Like, I obviously, in terms of the lightsaber stuff, I thought Phantom Menace was definitely better.
Yeah,
But obviously, because we also have to take into account that we have the space battle in Phantom Menace and the droid battles. So I think, yeah, I think Attack of the Clones might have actually had a better final battle. It's
yeah.
very
And
tough, but
Dooku
I think
is
I like Phantom Menace a little more.
yeah, and
Dooku, yeah, he was
Dooku
great.
is I think is a really good villain. I
Yeah,
think Christopher Lee did a good job with him.
yeah. 67, Batman 66. I mean, this movie I would say is harmless.
Yeah,
It doesn't do anything that completely annoys me, but doesn't do that much that makes me think, wow, this is amazing. So
yeah.
that's why it was like around the middle of my list.
I think I would say the same. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really to say about it. It's all right. It
I
does, like
mean,
you said, it's harmless. It doesn't really do anything bad.
but obviously I think Adam West is iconic as Batman.
Yeah, and it's of course got like '60s tropes in it.
I
It's
mean, definitely a
it,
product of its time, but
I
I'll admit,
agree.
like, it's very enjoyable, and I thought it was better despite being way more, despite being way cheaper than Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
66 on this list. Solo.
Solo. I actually don't hate Solo. I know some people hate on it, and it's definitely the worst out of the two spin-offs.
Well,
It's weird. I actually used to think Solo was better than Rogue One, but like I've come to accept that Rogue One is a much better made movie, obviously. Solo, I mean, it does have enjoyable moments. Like it's a fun adventure movie. Um, Donnie Glover as Lando is great. I actually really liked his performance.
yeah, I think he was
It's
the best part of the movie.
got good scenes, like, and I hope we get to see that Lando show one day with Donnie
Yeah,
Glover.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
that'd be cool.
yeah, and I don't
seeing
hate
Darth
it.
Maul was cool.
Darth
Look,
Maul
I
was
mean,
cool.
I'll admit. So like, if it was my personal ranking, I actually had this below Attack of the Clones of the MS.
Hmm.
However, I could understand why you would have it above Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. I think it has less flaws, but like I think Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones have higher highs, so that's why I put it a little lower. But I do will say the only thing that for me that is like a big thing holding it back is Dryden Voss as a villain. I did not like it.
Yeah.
But I'll admit, like Solo's fun. I used to hate this movie. Over time, I enjoy it. I will admit, Alden um Ehrenreich as Han Solo, he was cool. But yeah, Donald Glover as Lando was the best part of the movie.
Hmm.
So that actually concludes today. But anyways, thanks a lot for joining in, and I can't wait
Thank
to
you.
talk about these movies again tomorrow.
Can't wait.
See you.